Welcome to the Mukilteo Football Show. My name is Miles.
And my name is Kirk. Back for some Thursday Night Football, baby.
And Thursday Night Football's back in its original form. Boring as hell.
Oh, man.
The Rams defeat the 49ers 12-6, which I believe was the score of that famous 12-6 horror show that was the Colts Broncos in the first year that got all the memes about being one of the worst games of all time.
Yeah, that was overtime too.
That game was...
Thank goodness this one didn't go into overtime.
That game was also bad for the experience, which was that you knew the defense wasn't good either.
Yeah.
There was no elements. There was just bad offense, bad defense, no bad weather.
Yeah.
This one at least had the rain to explain the low score a little bit.
And they know each other pretty well, so the game slows down a little bit. You know, McVay versus Shanahan's a classic matchup.
Mm-hmm.
First one in rain that I can remember.
Yeah. Well, it's California rain. I mean, McVay didn't even have a hat on.
Oh, yeah. God. Man, that guy never blinks. He's got to get a hat on.
When you pointed that out, I did not think
Seriously,
of that, but then he was on the post game.
Never seen the man blink. It's like he's been on cocaine for freaking 12 years.
Just going to say cocaine's a hell of a drug.
God, Adderall or something. Like he is locked in.
Well, as national fans, let's talk about the game, but then let's take a little section after that as Seahawks fans to talk about what this means for the NFC West.
Oh, yeah, because we're both rooting for the Rams.
We were. And that technically wasn't mathematically best for the Seahawks. For the Rams to win and go 8-6, knocks the 49ers down to 6-8. Seahawks, of course, currently 8-5.
With a big game coming up.
With a big game against the Packers, which we will be talking about later.
Yep.
But you just wanted to see the knife in the 49ers, right? The steak.
It's like, just screw this team this year.
Yeah.
I've always said Brock Purdy sucks. Besides that one time
that you said he was good.
When I took it back and said he was at least mediocre. He's a manageable quarterback. But you see, this is what happens when you ask him to take over for the team.
Yeah.
You're like, you know what? He's a good quarterback. He can bring us to the promised land. Well, guess what? No. You don't have McCaffrey back there. You got your ragtag of Shanahan running backs who will do their job just fine.
Mm-hmm.
But Purdy's just not that guy. He's going to take you over the top. Tonight was a great example of it.
God, I mean, it really went sideways today. Debo had a horrible day as well, dropping passes, including one that looked like it was, if not a touchdown, was going to threaten easily the inside of the 5 and set them up.
Yeah, and he was begging for the ball before that.
I know. That's a bad look.
Yeah, I know, right? If you're going to demand the football, you better make a play.
Yeah.
So
his reaction after that, just pure, like almost pulled his helmet off. Like he knew instantly that he had just made himself the story of this game.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
And the Niners, man, just falling apart this year.
Yeah.
Maybe we have a Super Bowl hangover curse coming. That might become a thing again.
I think I think this Super Bowl roster has just reached its natural conclusion.
Yeah.
Like you have been saying, and I have been saying as well, Purdy doesn't mean anything. This has been a juggernaut offense. Garoppolo was actually a negative on this offense, on this team for a long time, which has been proven over time. And that it's just, they've been decimated by, coaches, players going to the Dolphins and the Texans and the Jets, just they're getting spread too thin.
Spread thin. They paid all their superstars, which means you're not paying anybody else. You had to build through the draft class.
Yeah, and then some of those superstars got hurt.
And you gave away a lot of those picks to get Trey Lance.
Yeah.
So you're finally starting to catch up on that. Yeah, I mean, this was a year for a regression. You kept the same team together for a good, 5-year chunk. Like that was a good, solid team you had. But now, you're going to have to find some depth. You got to find people replacing, other people,
It's going to be interesting what their next phase will be. Are they going to pay Purdy? I don't know, but we're at that point. The 49ers are toast. We're just giving them the obituary here.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to pay Purdy eventually. I mean, they have to.
But when a quarterback hits the market, and the price might be too much for them.
I know. I don't know what they're going to do, but definitely tonight sealed the end.
Yeah.
This is the end of their season.
Mathematically.
End of their season.
Yeah.
They're 6-8. Rams Seahawks still have to play each other.
Yeah.
So there's a guaranteed win. You know, the best the Niners can do is 9-8. They're not going to win this division with that. They're losing tiebreakers to the Seahawks and to the Rams. Yeah. So, they're pretty much toast.
There was a little hope coming into this game. They throttled the Bears. They looked like the old 49ers. Yep. You know, you didn't really worry about the McCaffrey and Mason injuries because it doesn't seem to matter what running back they have. Right. But this was a wake-up call. It was a whimper of a game. Can I read to you the drives of this game?
I don't know if I want to hear it.
Punt, punt, field goal. Punt, 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 punt,
nice.
Field goal, punt, halftime.
Oh.
Punt, field goal, punt, field goal, interception. And then the first drive that has any sustained is this Rams drain the last 5 minutes with a bunch of first down. I guess their other field goal drive was a good long one in their top beginning of the fourth quarter, but I did not expect the Rams after that interception, which was a horrible interception.
Good Lord.
About 5 minutes in the game, 49ers are down 9-6.
They're driving.
They got to
field goal range-ish.
Yeah. What were they at? They were at the
I felt like they were at like the 40 or the
33-yard line.
Yeah.
So at the 33-yard line, Purdy throws it up into what I can only call quintuple coverage.
And that's 5 people, folks.
Yeah. Now, I mean, some of the players are like 10 yards behind him, but just the visual of like the whole Rams team running that way.
Yeah.
There was definitely 5 Rams going that way, and Juwan Jennings just in the middle, and it's 10 yards over Juwan Jennings.
Oh, yeah.
So your Purdy hate.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Like, there's 2 people over the top. There's 2 underneath. There's a guy on the side. I mean, I don't know what he was looking down. Like, check that down. It's a 9-6 game. Don't go for the home run. Just check it down, get your field goal, and play to, live to play another down.
Lost patience. But yeah, the impressive part of that was the Rams 13 plays, 69 yards, 5 minutes. They drained the rest of the game.
Yeah.
I think they kicked the 12.
They kicked the field goal.
30 seconds
Good
left.
return by Debo. They had one chance at a Hail Mary, and they got sacked. So, that was game. It was an ugly one. Thursday night, back to Thursday night.
Yeah.
But NFC West-wise?
This is interesting for NFL fans. I think now we got our eyes on that Week 18 Rams-Seahawks matchup because the Seahawks are a half game ahead. You're expecting them. I mean, they play Packers-Vikings next.
Right.
So that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Did I get the wrong tea?
A replacement
Thank you,
tea
Kathleen.
from Kathleen.
Kathleen replacing my tea.
Go with her purple weird fruit bowl thing.
Kathleen, if you want to come on mic here and explain yourself, there is a bubbling bowl of what I can only describe as purple pus.
It's fruit salad.
What is it?
Yummy, yummy. It's fruit salad.
Fruit salad.
Fruit salad.
It's a bowl
Yummy,
of mush.
yummy.
A bubbling fruit salad. Who's cooking their fruit in a bowl?
Oh.
All right. But yeah. This is excellent commentary on the 12-6 game.
Yeah. This is what happens when it's 12-6, Amazon. We start talking about fruit salad in a bowl.
But yeah, you're looking forward to Week 18. Cardinals still have an outside shot, but after losing to the Hawks twice, that hurts.
3-game losing
that
streak.
Really hurts the effort.
I think that's going to be really interesting. I'm excited for that game to be flexed in. I would, as a Seahawks fan now, turning to just pure Seahawks fandom, I would probably say we're due to beat the Rams.
Yeah.
Like, they beat us in Seattle.
Overtime.
They needed a 103-yard pick six. They needed one of Stafford's, honestly, best throws of
DeMarcus Robinson.
The overtime throw was freaking incredible.
On the money, man.
He has not looked like that in a while, though.
I mean, Bill's game,
offense,
we haven't seen it. Like, after that game, he was awful.
Oh, yeah, he did throw 44. He did throw 320 yards and 44 points on Sunday, 5 days ago.
Average.
But he hasn't had that zip. I mean, It's weird to say, but I feel like that was almost more about the Bills than it was,
than the Rams.
Yeah. I don't know. You're coming into an NFC West team game. I like our chances against Stafford.
I mean, I think we're due too. I kind of like that we're going down to their place. I feel like we haven't beat them down there in a while. New coach. It seems like every year there's a new coach that comes into a team and takes a team to the playoffs. It might be the Hawks this time. It's not going to be the Falcons.
Well, we shall see. We rooted against our own interests. Technically, we should have been rooting for the 49ers, but we just couldn't do it.
We want it the hard way.
Mukilteo Football Show. The show is football, everything, NFL history, legacy, ups and downs of a season. We got shows Monday, Sunday, and Thursday after the primetime games. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. All right. Now, we've got a couple of games to review. Some really good afternoon games. Lions, Bills, Battle of Pennsylvania, Eagles, Steelers. And, of course, we got our Sunday night game with our beloved Seahawks.
Oh, yeah.
Taking on the Packers at home. But I think first we got to talk about the biggest news of the day, which is that Bill Belichick is going to coach a college football team.
I know.
The University of North Carolina.
What's going on? Why did Bill take the offer? He didn't even wait for the NFL offers. Like, he didn't even wait till the end of the season to go get an offer for somebody else.
Why did he do? I mean, he must know ahead of time that he's not going to get any. I mean, there must be back channels.
Yeah. Or he's just like, I'm not going to go coach the Dallas Cowboys or the Jacksonville Jaguars. I refuse.
I kind of wish he did coach the Cowboys, so that would have been fun.
I know.
But he clearly wants a level of control that is just only going to be given by a desperate college team.
Yeah.
And North Carolina, like, sure, they're probably not going to get a decade of Bill Belichick here. I mean, he's in his, like, late 60s, right?
Yeah. I think it was like a 5-year deal or something like that. So
So they get instant notoriety. He said that this is not going to be like a traditional college program. This is a pipeline to the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Come to me. I'll use my NFL connections to get you into the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think is interesting. Is that going to work, though? I mean,
Belichick, he looked over these college rules and these transfer portal things, and he's going to abuse the system in classic Bill Belichick ways. This is what the rule book says. This is what I can make happen. I'm taking 5th-year seniors that are playing for bad programs that want to play. I'm taking those guys.
Okay.
I can't see him really recruiting 18-year-olds in high school, sitting down on the couch and like trying to convince them.
That's what I can't.
Yeah. He's taking people that are good in other places. He's going to build some sort of team every year. And just have them try to be NFL ready every time. He's basically, if anybody knows Kentucky basketball, it was, I am taking this player. They said you can't draft him out of high school. I'm going to coach you 1 year. You're gone into the NBA. Yeah. That's it. That's just straight off the bat.
That feels right.
That's Belichick.
Yeah. And I mean, you could recruit through the dads here. Like, I'm sorry. Let me just put my 8 Super Bowl rings down on your coffee table here and tell you why you should go to UNC and not Florida, or Florida State. Like, let me just tuck those in here. That's 2 with the Giants, 6 with the Patriots, by the way. Would you like to know why you want to come here and not play, for freaking Florida State?
Right.
I mean,
he's going to get plenty of people. This worked for Dion, too. So Dion's a name, and people are like, I want to go play for Dion.
Yeah.
Belichick's a bigger name.
It is. It's kind of the Deion Sanders model. Deion Sanders in all these commercials now. With the NIL money, he's going to abuse that because he is ultra famous. If he picks a quarterback and he talks up a quarterback, that quarterback is going to make a lot of money through deals because he's going to be talked about. So there's like an industry here that is just forming. It's only a couple years old.
Yep.
The Dion model, what's the Kentucky coach's name?
Calipari.
Yeah. The Dion model, the Calipari model, mixed together. I'm feeling better about this than I was at first.
Belichick's he knows what he's doing. He took this job for a reason. He clearly wasn't making on the commentating. You don't think and he's just too mundane,
He is. You don't think his 24-year-old girlfriend had something to do with this?
Maybe. Is she going to North Carolina? We just wanted to be
someone
closer.
Should look that up. Or maybe she's going to turn 25 and he needs to find a new
girlfriend.
girlfriend at the University of North Carolina. Oh, that's bad. That's bad.
Just wanted to be around people of that age, you know?
God. Oh, gosh.
Oh,
bad,
I mean,
bad.
This will produce good games for them. I'm sure they'll be a good program.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get your expectations super high. I'm
Yeah.
not expecting them to win the national championship next year. It's
Yeah,
going to take a little time.
I think Colorado is a perfect, analogy that you're going to get some entertaining games, but are they going to really truly consistently compete? Probably not.
And it'll be interesting to see how these NFL teams rate these guys coming into draft day. Be like, you're a Bill Belichick taught tight end.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be good, right?
And Drake may finally get to meet Bill Belichick because he came from North Carolina, went to the Patriots the first year without Bill Belichick.
Maybe that's why he did it, just out of spite.
Oh yeah. This is like going to wash Drake May's legacy.
Right?
Oh, wait, by the way, Drake May games at University of North Carolina were boring as hell, by the way.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
But yeah, good for Belichick.
Yeah.
I'm going to be happy to see him on the sideline again.
All right, let's talk week 15. We got a couple of big games to talk about. And this one that we're kind of trying to, what's our fourth game? What's the fourth best game? We settled on Broncos Colts, which I do find interesting.
I like this game.
This has the chance, if it goes the Colts' way, to really make the wild card race in the AFC interesting or a race at all.
Oh, yeah. There's two games kind of like this.
Yeah.
Colts, Broncos, we're going to skip on Dolphins, Texans, because I just don't want to talk about them.
Right. But Dolphins would also benefit hugely.
Dolphins win that. They go to 7-7. It's a game. But Colts beat the Broncos. Now they're a game back with the tiebreaker against the Broncos.
Yeah.
So, all of a sudden, with only three games left after this week, that only having a one-game lead means basically nothing, in my opinion. So this game's huge. This is do or die. This is a playoff game.
This really, that's what you like. You like to watch games that truly the season is on the line. As much as we just shat all over the 49ers Rams here,
right.
The season was on the line for the 49ers, absolutely.
Yep.
And the Rams just made themselves a realistic playoff contender.
Yeah.
So this is at home for the Broncos. So it is the Mile High.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of two more contrasting quarterbacks to play in this game than Anthony Richardson and Bo Nix.
Really, night and day.
Richardson,
I'll say he's played better since his benching.
Yeah.
We got to give him that. Beginning of the season was dreadful. This guy couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. I mean, he was bad, 40% completion percentage bad.
He wasn't able to hit the just regular passes, regular NFL passes.
Yeah, so he's gotten a little better. He knows he has Jonathan Taylor back there now. Their coach is still a good coach.
Yeah.
I mean, Steichen doesn't get any credit there in Indianapolis. So, he still knows what he's doing. This is really Anthony Richardson's first year. And he's starting to figure this out. He wins a game here and they're in contention. Yeah. After all they've been through, as crappy as they have played, they can be 7-7, one game back from making the playoffs.
Yeah, and this has been Colts football last couple of years too. It's been ugly, and we're not used to that. We grew up in Peyton Manning days. Yeah. Colts are pretty boys.
12-4 every year.
Pretty boys. They pass the ball. They get the fancy sacks with Freeney and Mathis. Yep. This is ugly. This is just gritty, and you just don't think of the Colts this way.
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson's biggest moment was against the Jets when he really ended the Jets season.
Yeah.
Yes, they've lost a couple games since then, but
he put the stake in the heart.
I forget the exact score of the game, but I know they eventually won by 1 point. So the Colts needed to go get a touchdown.
Yeah.
And Richardson had a big 30-yard pass, a big run, and then the final run, in the absolute clutch, Anthony Richardson sent Aaron Rodgers packing.
Yeah.
And then they just beat Patriots. They just beat last week. Patriots.
Yeah.
Okay.
Way closer than it should have been. But I like that they went for two. They gave it to their man.
We were watching that. We were so happy when we saw them come out of the huddle and going for two there.
Yeah. Yep.
Good job.
That was huge. And I'm rooting for the Colts in this game, mostly because I don't like the Broncos, and I've always had a soft spot for the Colts because I've been a Peyton Manning fan, so I still like that franchise a bit. And, for statement games, for as much as Anthony Richardson has been just talked crap about, I mean, everyone's like, this guy should be the number one pick. And here we are like a year and a half later, and we're like, he's awful. He's terrible. What are the Colts going to do at quarterback?
But we always said he needed time. He only played 1 year of college football.
And he missed a couple games this year, So, I mean,
and a lot of games last year.
I'm looking for him to like really have a breakout game. He beats a good team in the Broncos, kind of shows up their defense a little bit, which seems to be showing some holes. Jameis Winston showed some holes in them.
Yeah.
So, and there's good receivers out there. Pittman, 109 catches last year. He hasn't really got started with this quarterback in Richardson. Pierce is good. Towns, I think, is hurt. But there's weapons all over the place. And that defense is playing stout enough. I'm leaning my hand. I'm going Colts, but we still got to talk Broncos.
Broncos are on a 3-game winning streak.
I know.
Because they had a bye last week, you forget
that they're doing so well.
But they beat Falcons, beat Raiders. They beat the Browns in that wild Monday Night Football game where Jameis Winston accounted for negative 14 points.
Threw a lot of touchdowns.
Threw a touchdown, yeah.
Just some to the wrong team.
He's like the, to go back to basketball, he's the 3-point shooter who can't play defense.
Right.
So are we really gaining?
I'm just going to keep shooting, but I never stop a shot.
Yeah. So Bo Nix should be doing good because he played like 68 games in college football. Don't talk about him like he is a rookie that is doing this in spite of him being a rookie. He has a benefit that no other rookie has ever had.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like 6 full years of college football. Now, I will say, does that matter? Not really, Miles. Like, that did happen. Yeah. That did happen. He played all those years, and now he's playing a season of NFL football and doing great.
Yeah.
He is playing well, definitely within the structure of a Sean Payton system. Sean Payton's got to love this guy.
Oh, yeah.
But he is playing well.
He has been playing pretty well. Like, at first, 2-3 weeks, I was like, man, this guy sucks. He's never going to make it. He's just been going through the progressions steadily. Yeah. He's finding receivers deep now. He's working on play actions. Like, he fits the system well. Mm-hmm. And thank goodness they have a good defense, because they had no way they'd be in this position without that defense holding up for the first half of the season.
Yeah.
But I got to give it to Bo Nix. He is sleeper rookie of the year. God. Which is frustrating, but you got to start saying it. This is why I'm rooting for the Colts so hard.
Jaden Daniels, you got to do something flashy in December here. Come on, man.
Please steal that award back.
All right. I'm taking Broncos because I just feel they're the most sturdy team. Like you said, the Colts, they barely beat the Patriots. They kind of did need a miracle to beat the Jets.
Yeah.
And the Broncos have shown themselves to be a good team.
They've been rolling.
It's the mile high effect. I think they're gonna do just fine.
Is Richardson gonna get tired? Richardson on a scramble. He's like, oh, mile high. I had to sit out a play.
You know what, Richardson? Hand it off to Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
Take a break. That's how quarterbacks take a break.
Yep.
Is a handoff.
Call a quick draw play on 3rd and 20. Just settle for a field goal.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you're going Broncos.
I'm going
Colts.
Broncos.
All right.
Okay. Too much time on that game. Let's move to the next one. Okay. Detroit Lions.
Ooh.
Buffalo Bills.
Ooh.
I think this is the standard Super Bowl wish by the national fans. Like, if you don't want it to be one of your teams, you want it to be Bills Lions.
Yeah. That'd be my wish. Yeah. I'm with the pack.
So, but this game doesn't have a lot of drama to me because did the Bills even really care? Did they care about the Rams game? They clinched the AFC East
a week ago.
Week 14. And now they're 2 games behind the 1 seed with the Chiefs. It sucked that they lost to the Rams. They gave 44 points to the Rams.
That was troubling.
I worry that they're playing not to get hurt right now. They're coasting in. And the Lions are also kind of coasting lately. They're not beating teams 52-6 anymore.
Yeah.
I guess they did beat the Jaguars really bad.
That was 52-6.
But that's the Jaguars.
Yeah, right.
That's literally 52-6.
Right. On the dot.
That's the second thing in this podcast I've said that's just absolutely wrong. So
I think
they are beating teams 52-6, just not in the last 2 weeks is what I meant.
Yeah, they've been closer.
Yeah, and the Bears game, and what was it, the Colts?
And Green Bay on
they're
Thursday night.
Kind of coasting a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, the Bills, this game doesn't matter so much. You're playing for seeding. You already got the division. You're kind of battling Pittsburgh for the 2 seed. Mm-hmm. You're not going to catch the Chiefs probably.
Yeah.
Now that you're 2 games back, you're still on the breaker, but you're not going to catch them just because the Chiefs are, hanging out with
touched by God.
They're hanging out with the devil. This isn't God's work. This is the devil's work.
We went opposite on that one.
I was like, there's no way God is doing this. This is the devil. He is hurting our souls.
All right, I'm in.
But for the Lions, this still means a lot. With the Vikings just sitting there continuously putting pressure on the back end.
You're right. They just keep
They're 11-2. They're only a game up on their division. The Lions are. They've lost one game, and they're only one game up on their division. I mean, that's ridiculous. And you have to play that team week 18. You're hoping to get at least another game ahead of them so that game doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. That's what you're really hoping. And the Vikings won't let it go. And, the Lions are kind of trying to play not to get hurt. So are the Bills. It'd be interesting to see if they actually go at each other in this game.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Try to learn as much as you can in case you guys meet up in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Right. This is big, like the Giants did with the Patriots that undefeated season.
Yeah.
They're like, we didn't have to play. We already had the wild card. They already had the division, but they actually went at each other.
Yeah.
It was a great game. Ended up being the Super Bowl matchup. They learned a lot from each other.
Yeah.
So as coaching strategy, I'm interested to see who actually shows up.
And I do agree with that. Like, you got to go full go to learn as much as you can.
Yeah.
You can't play scared. You're going to get hurt if you're playing scared, really.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's when the injuries come.
And I don't expect Campbell to play scared.
Yeah.
McDermott's the one I'm more concerned with. Campbell, man, that guy's got balls of steel. He will go for it.
I saw a thing that said Campbell is going for it on fourth down 25% more than the analytics models say.
Whoa.
So, like, I forget what exactly it is, but 1 out of 4 times he's gone for it, the most aggressive analytics models actually tell you to kick it.
Yeah.
It's a mental thing that he is building.
Yeah.
Which I would wish he would just not, especially in the playoffs. Like, you got to trust your team. Against the playoff teams like the Bills, you will be made to pay for those mistakes more.
Yeah. You
got to build that into your math. The Bills can make you pay more than the Bears.
Yeah. You screw up a fourth down, around the 50-yard line. They're going, Josh Allen's scoring.
Yeah. Without even a problem.
Yeah. And you lose momentum. Yeah. Playoffs a big thing about momentum. Yeah. So I trust Campbell a little bit, but he's a little too risky for my blood.
These two teams played on the Turkey Thanksgiving Day, 2022.
Oh.
And it was a great game. Yeah. It came down to the last seconds. And tell me if this reminds you of anything. I'm bringing this up for a reason.
Okay.
Jared Goff drove the Lions down for a game-winning field goal.
Okay.
They got to about the 22-yard line. It was 3rd and 1. They ran it with Montgomery. Were stuffed. Or Jamal Williams. Were stuffed.
Oh, yeah.
It was 4th and 1 with about 28 seconds left.
Ooh, okay.
They kicked the field goal.
Interesting.
Kicked it off to Buffalo. Josh Allen threw a 36-yard pass to Diggs, 9-yard run, kicked the field goal, and the Lions lost. Tell me if that reminds you of anything.
That's why they went for it last week on Thursday night.
Oh my gosh.
Holy crap. Campbell wrote that down. He said, never again.
Never again. Never again.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
All right, let's pick this game.
Yeah, there's just superstars all over the place. We don't have to run them down for you. Yeah. Both these teams. God. I mean, fans, they're hoping these teams make it.
Me too.
I would love to see it.
I am absolutely.
But, I think the Lions need it more than the Bills.
Yeah.
And the Bills' defense worried me last week. I think they'll rebound a little bit, but just the constant pressure and the fact that the Bills don't really have pressure to win a game will be the difference in the end.
Yeah. I'm going Lions too. I just feel like the Bills are in a weird no man's land. I think it's actually really bad for them.
Yeah.
Now, Josh Allen's got like MVP stats maybe he needs to put up. It's kind of funny. His loss against the Rams was like the best case for MVP.
Yeah.
3 touchdowns rushing, 3 touchdowns passing. First time in history, by the way.
I know.
Isn't that weird?
What the hell?
Cam Newton never did that. Lamar Jackson never did that. And Steve Young, Randall Cunningham.
And that coming off a week where he got a receiving touchdown? Like, Josh Allen's putting up numbers, dude.
I'll take Lions. Yeah. I mean, that offensive line.
This is bad for the Bills. This is what I say about baseball teams when they clinch early September.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're playing nothing for a month. You get a little time off and you just lost your mojo.
I will say, for the exact same reason, if the Bills come out and thump the Lions, that will tell me something about their character.
Yeah.
And we didn't mention it, but this is in Detroit.
Yeah.
So this is going into that environment and they thump the Lions, I mean, I already picked the Bills to win the Super Bowl before the year, by the way.
Right.
But I will really be pumped if they do that.
And I picked the Lions to win the Super Bowl before.
This is a battle of our picks.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
All right.
12-6.
12-6. All right, let's go to the Battle of Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
These teams have played 67 times.
Really?
Yes.
I'm shocked. by
Only
that.
14 times in the last 54 years.
Okay, so that's why I'm
But
shocked.
the Steelers were in the NFL back in the old days.
Yeah.
From the 1920s to 1960s, the Steelers were the modern day Browns. They had like 50 years where they were nothing.
Yep.
They're the team that cut Johnny Unitas. They're the idiots.
Yep.
Then they finally leave the NFL. They go to the AFC at the merger.
Yep.
That's the 70s. They become a dynasty, and they've been good ever since.
Draft Bradshaw. Draft me,
Only
Joe
had-
Green.
yeah.
Frank
Only had
Harris.
3 coaches since then.
I
Knox,
know.
Cower, and Mike Tomlin.
That is shocking. Still shocking
Yeah.
for any franchise to do that.
Now, we are due a classic Battle of Pennsylvania. I looked back through trying to find a good one. There was like a 14-6 Michael Vick versus Big Ben game in 2012, but
Okay.
we've never had a good classic Pennsylvania matchup.
Yeah.
This has the makings. The Eagles are fighting to stay relevant in the 1 seed.
11-2 versus 10-3.
11
man.
exactly.
Yeah,
This has
like,
got to be the
huge.
best records
Yeah.
that they're meeting. The Steelers are on a hot streak with Russell Wilson, the best front 7 defense in the league.
Oh, yeah.
The Eagles have the best running back and running game, breaking historical records here.
Saquon going for 2,000.
And they've got a Vic Fangio defense that is absolutely crushing and
Oh, yeah.
chomping at the bit. This is a football game.
Yeah.
This is a football game.
This is the one I'm glued to the screen on.
Yes.
I cannot wait to watch this game. To see how these two coaches battle each other. How these two, just so much talent on the field.
Yes.
Just all over the place.
The lines, like, I mean,
Yeah.
I just can't, the Saquon Barkley and Eagles offensive line versus that Steelers front 7, like, people are going to die. People are going to
There's gonna be
die.
a lot of injuries in this game.
And this is in Philadelphia. Let me check who's favored here. They probably have Eagles favored, but
Got to be pretty even.
yeah, let me see here. Hi, Arlo.
Hello, Arlo.
Oh, Eagles are favored by 5.5.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Holy
That's
crap.
still disrespect to Russell Wilson, I think. There's still
that hatred.
There's still, like,
they can't
Russell
get that Broncos
sucks.
out of their head.
And, with Vic Fangio coming in, his defense is kind of the notorious defense that
that flusters a guy like
flustered
him.
and
Yeah,
stopped,
yeah.
the Russell Wilson trajectory.
And Pickens a little banged up, but
Yeah.
I expect him out there.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
interesting. By 5.5.
5.5.
That's mean, especially with the A.J. Brown calling out Hurts on the interview and whatnot.
I have a defense of that.
Oh, really? Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
AJ, the headline was A.J. Brown says offense needs to improve. Right.
But that was the question, right? Like,
The question was, what part of the offense needs to improve? He's not going to say the running game because Saquon Barkley is on pace, 17 games, I might add, but he's on pace to beat Eric Dickerson's rushing record. So he's going to say the other part.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I don't know. There is unhappiness between them, but I think that quote was like,
he says rushing, they laugh him out of the room.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, we need to ground and pound. What are we doing?
AJ Brown's like, I know we're doing great, but it'd be really great if we could get some freaking run game going.
Jeez, only 1,600 yards this year. What's going on?
But you do see their body language. There's a reason that reporter asked that question. Is because it's a narrative that's already building. You see that they're not laughing with each other. Hurts has regressed, man.
He's regressed. He hasn't had all his people on the field all the time. Like, Devontae Smith's been in and out of injuries. Brown missed 4 games at the beginning of the year. Dallas Goedert's in and out of the lineup all the time, and they don't really have another option besides all of that. If not for Saquon, this team's probably like a 500 team.
Right. And the offensive line too. I just have to Are you a Saquon for MVP guy?
I'm close.
Really?
If he keeps doing it, because I expect a bad game here where he gets 50 yards, which isn't awful, but him to have 15 carries for 50 yards, everyone be like, what's wrong with Saquon? That's all it takes for him to lose MVP. He breaks the record.
Yeah.
I gotta put him in the conversation,
Even if it's in the 17th game.
as long as he breaks 2,016.
Okay.
And then if he broke the record, I'd be cool with it.
Okay.
But he breaks that. That's a record that's been around since the 80s.
Yeah.
That thing's been around for
Every
a while.
big running back season is just came short of that Dickerson, I think 84, right?
Yeah.
Though we've talked about this before. There's no need to get into this, but yards from scrimmage matter. Catching the football matters.
Yeah.
Should be talking about Chris Johnson's 2009 season.
Yeah.
But people don't, and we didn't either, but I'm just calling it out.
Yeah. It's Kerry Collins effect.
I did a Simpsons Awards.
Dude, that was fun.
Yeah.
The Simpsons little fun day
The
thing.
Simpsons.
Yeah.
How did you watch the whole game with the Simpsons? Or?
I just saw like clips online and whatnot.
I watched the first half, but I turned it over.
I like who they had Mina Kimes calling it and whatnot, and she just kept diving in Simpsons quotes.
I didn't think this was possible, but the Bengals defense both sucks and blows.
Yeah. I was like, yes.
I did some Simpsons awards.
Okay.
And I gave Saquon Barkley the Poochie Award, which was Saquon Barkley's the new character.
Right.
That comes in and he should have access to a time machine. And when he's not on screen, all the other characters should be asking, where's Saquon? Because he has like papered over this Eagles offense.
Oh,
I mean, they are... It's like such a narrative team. Like the Eagles, they're hot and cold. They're like their coach. They're surface level jerks.
It's an emotionally based team.
Yeah.
Which isn't going to help them in the playoffs, I don't think.
I would agree.
But you got to love Saquon. Them against the Steelers, they got a good defensive line, like a good front seven. Like this might be a problem. Hurts might actually have to open it up a bit.
And I do not know if he can.
I know.
Now, one of the things that helps the run game is A.J. Brown. So I will say, like, the Steelers might not be able to do what they've been doing to teams because you have to respect A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
Like, there are two losses with two of the games without A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
So he's there, and, like, I'm really interested in this game. I don't know that I really have a prediction, especially for that side of the ball. I want to see a rock meet an immovable object or movable object meet an unstoppable force. Like, I'm really excited to see this.
Yeah, I love this game. I'll be glued to my screen. This is the one I'm going to be watching the most. Like Lions, Bills, like I'll probably tune in and out. Like I can catch up on most of that.
Yeah.
But like this game, I really, really want to see if I think they'll be good in the playoffs. If I'm leaning away, I got to say I'm leaning the Steelers.
Okay.
If it's close, I go with the coach.
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin knows where a camera is 40 yards on the other side of the field.
You cannot get over this.
I seriously, how did he know that thing was on him? And like just so perfectly, just casually smiles and gives the thumb up. Like,
because that camera is like, for people who like you've been to a game, that is on the other side of the field behind the other team's sideline.
That is 70, like 60, 50 yards away.
Yeah.
Somewhere over there with a tiny little red light.
In a sea of people.
And could be pointing anywhere, really. And he just like casually looks over and gives it the thumbs up. Just masterclass. I've become a Mike Tomlin fan very quickly this year. And he's got great quotes. He's got great metaphors and analogies. Like this guy's awesome. Longest tenured coach, by the way. He is the longest head coach for his own team. Andy Reid's been coaching longer, but hasn't been with the Chiefs.
Right.
But but Tomlin,
that's crazy.
But yeah, I'm leaning Pittsburgh. You got a preference?
Oh man. Well, I will definitely take Pittsburgh to cover the 5.5. Okay. Like I'm very confident in that because I kind of lean Pittsburgh too. I mean, I know it's in Philadelphia, but the tougher team is Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Golly.
Philly fans don't even like Philly. I'm just like, it's not even a home game. Like, I feel like they'll get more boos at home than they will on the road.
I think this is the game where Saquon gets that 50 yards, like you said.
Okay.
And because of that, Hurts has to throw, and we
see what Hurts is made
We
of.
are talking about interceptions, and the Eagles can't do this, and the Eagles can't do that. A.J. Brown's upset.
Yep.
Like, I think that's what we say. I'm picking Pittsburgh, too.
Nice. I love it.
All right.
All of a sudden, we're Russell Wilson and Mike Tomlin fans. What's happened to the world?
I know. That is so weird. It's, part of it is because, now, we, of course, hated the Steelers forever because they beat us in 2005. But the Steelers haven't been, like, Super Bowl contenders for so long that we're like able to, we thought a little bit.
Giving him a break.
Yeah, giving him a break. Plus, Russell Wilson is literally on the team. We rooted for him for 10 years.
So there's a little bit. There's an in there.
You didn't even really like Russell Wilson when he was on the Seahawks.
Good point. I hated that guy from the beginning. Ugh.
Okay, we got 1 minute to talk Packers.
Might go a little over.
We're going over. We're going over, and that's fine. This has been a good conversation. So, Seahawks, Packers, of course, at Lumen Field, here with the 12s. I'm going to this game, by the way.
Really?
I am going.
Nice. Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, going on Sarah and Dale's tickets up in the 300 level. So I'm going to be, I'll be screaming. I've actually been to a lot of Packers game. I was at the Fail Mary game.
Oh, really?
The only time the Packers have visited Seattle that I was not at the game was the NFC Championship. Just want to since 2012.
You would have only wanted to be there for like 3 minutes of that game, anyways. So,
that is true.
That was a classic.
I know we're over it, but side note, don't look at my texts or whatever I was saying for the first 59 or 58 and a half minutes of the NFC Championship. I was saying clean house. Russell Wilson sucks. Jermaine, I literally said Jermaine Kearse needs to be cut tomorrow. This is like 15 minutes before he catches one of the most famous touchdowns in Seahawks history.
Right.
So,
and they cut him the next day.
They cut him the next day at my request. All right. So let's see who's favored here.
Sneaky little rivalry game here.
Yeah,
we've had great games with the Packers.
Yeah, we're gonna get the ball. Yep. We're gonna score.
Exactly.
Packers got us the other
days.
way.
Yep.
What was that? 06, 07?
Yeah,
it was a brutal one.
Just the NFC Championship game fell Mary. I mean, this has been nice. Brett Favre put one on us in Lambeau in the playoffs.
Yep.
Like we started up like 14-0 and then just got rocked.
That was a tough one.
Yeah.
Packers are favored by 2.5 in our house.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Wow.
That's interesting. I mean, they went toe-to-toe with the Lions. If Jared Goff loses his footing on that 4th and 1, we're talking about a Packers team that is on absolute fire.
Yeah.
So there's only just a slight difference in them. They're having a great year. So, I mean, I don't take too much offense to that. They could easily be 10-3, but
yeah, I think it's been hard to place the Packers. I mean, you just got to rate them as a football team because they're the 6th seed, basically locked up, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like they're already a wild card team. They're not going to win that division over the Vikings or the Lions.
Yeah,
but like they've been winning these games like the last 3-4 weeks without Jordan Love going nuts.
Yeah,
Jordan Love's not throwing interceptions. He's handing it off to Josh Jacobs, another good free agent running back signing this year. Just got to keep shouting those guys out, pay your running backs. But yeah, they've just been consistent running a LaFleur offense, just as late December kind of let's get ready for the playoff stuff going. They have Dobbs has been concussed. They've been good receiver here, good receiver there. There's in, out. Watson's been hurt. They've been able to make a lot of things work this season without ever being healthy. Yeah.
I think we're in the Matt LaFleur prime.
This is a good
Last year was very impressive from Matt LaFleur. It started impressive and ended the last 10 games were very impressive.
Yeah.
And I think we are seeing good coaching. They switched up their defense coordinator. That defense is pretty good.
Oh yeah.
They've always had good pieces. I don't feel like they've had their statement game, their statement defensive game.
Which scares me. It seems like a playoff thing.
Yeah.
They're going to knock off somebody good. That'll be their statement game.
Yeah. But they handled the 49ers just fine.
Oh, yeah.
They shut down the Dolphins. Remember on Thanksgiving night.
Yeah.
It's not even that long ago.
The Dolphins are trying to get back into it. Yeah. They almost beat the Lions.
Yeah. And the Lions needed a lot of 4th downs. I think 4 to be exact.
Yeah.
4 conversions to put up those points. So I think one of the best teams in the NFL is coming into Seattle.
Yeah.
It's kind of masked, kind of hazy, but you're right.
Yeah.
This is one of the top teams in the NFL coming in.
NFC contender going to the Super Bowl. They're up there. Yeah.
I picked them to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I picked them, Bills to beat Packers. That's my pick.
I'll have to ask you that again when the playoffs are set.
I feel like I got to stick with it because it's my preseason one. I'm so proud that I picked the Bills preseason when no one was, that I just kind of have to stick with it just to brag.
And this is, this is an interesting matchup. Simply, this might be the first wild card game.
Very well.
Seahawks might be the 3 seed. Packers are sitting there at 6. They might be playing each other again.
You're right. Yeah, things seem to be lining up the way. Should we talk a little Seahawks here? We're on a quite a little run, aren't we?
We have to. I seem to like the Packers better than our own team right now. We're getting through games.
We're on a 4-game win streak.
Yeah. It's shocking, but
so we beat the 49ers with the Geno run.
That one has started?
Yeah. Okay. Beat the Cardinals twice in there.
Cardinals twice, one at home
and
last
the
week.
Jets game.
And the Jets, yeah.
And we didn't deserve to win the
Should have lost that game. Yeah. Man, oh man.
So it's been shaky, but 4 wins are 4 wins.
4 wins are 4 wins. You got to give it to us. I still don't really trust Geno too much.
Yeah.
But winning last week without Kenneth Walker, I liked what Charbonnet showed me.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, this winning streak and where we've been headed has been with a hurt DK.
Yeah.
And it's been Jackson Smith and Jigba breaking out.
JSN?
This guy's been on a tear for like longer than our winning streak. For like 6-7 weeks. Like he has been the man.
Looks great.
Yeah. He's running great routes. Geno's finding him as the primary target.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Lockett is now an afterthought. We're finally starting to move on from him.
Yeah.
I mean, the only real question you have with the Seahawks is, can you trust Geno in the red zone?
Right.
Dude throws an interception like, all the friggin' time. He's got to have the most in the league this year.
The answer is no, Kirk.
No?
The answer is you cannot trust Geno in the red zone. You can't.
When I get to the red zone, what quarterback do I want? Geno Smith.
No. But the thing that has been bailing them out is the defense.
Yeah.
Because the
Leonard
Mike
Williams.
McDonald defense, Leonard Williams is in an absolute peak of his career.
Mm-hmm.
The reason all these drives matter, the reason they didn't lose to the Jets, is something has clicked with this Mike McDonald defense.
Yeah.
Our linebackers, who I criticized to the high heavens, because we let go of Jordan Brooks. We let fan favorite Bobby Wagner go, which, I understood, but I was upset about emotionally.
Yeah.
And Mike McDonald was just thinking anybody could be Roquan Smith and freaking
Patrick Queen.
Yeah. And now they are. Yeah. Now these linebackers are playing like Roquan Smith and Patrick Queen. Like, whoa!
Dude knows how to coach linebackers.
He does.
Yeah.
And we finally got there. Ernest Jones, I think he's actually banged up, but traded over. There's just something is clicking, something's different on screen, and we're going to have in this 4-game winning streak, we only had one home game. So this one's going to have the infusion of the 12s.
Yeah.
And I think just 0.001% is going to move this needle. And that's one particular fan in the 300 level named Miles McGilvery.
Who's going to yell something so good.
So good. I got to come up with things for Jordan Love,
Yeah.
In the name of love. All you need is these are too positive.
Yeah.
Stop! In the name of love.
Okay, yeah.
I'll think of some others.
Yeah.
Love
hurts. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Love scars.
Yeah. That's after they score.
Yeah. Love wounds and Mars.
That whole section. Just
we're all hands on each other's shoulders. Any heart.
Just swaying.
Not tough. Just crying.
And it'll distract them for a little bit. This is gonna be a tough game. Like, I'm glad they flexed this one in, I think. So I mean, out of Sunday night football games, I'm definitely looking forward to this one.
Yeah.
I hope the Seahawks pull it off. And I've been picking the Seahawks in every close little whatever game.
So have I.
You have been picking against them, so I hope you continue that.
I have to.
And I am saying the Seahawks are going to win this sucker.
And I'm saying the Packers are going to roll.
Yeah.
I have to say that.
I know, right? It's just that's the jinx we're on right now, so we got to go with it.
When the Seahawks they went up by like 2 scores against Arizona. I was like, man, I ripped the Seahawks on the podcast.
Yeah, we don't have this.
I should go back and delete that.
Right. I hope we win. I want to get up on the Rams a little bit in the division.
Yeah.
Just kind of put the Cardinals behind us. It's just Rams, Seahawks from here on out.
We got Vikings next, so I don't think we're going 2-0 in these games.
Yeah, we need a win here. Yeah. Show it to the world.
Show it to the world. Show it to Chris Collinsworth.
Yeah. And who knows what kind of... there's classic games here.
Yeah, we
might have another.
Packers Seahawks tend to end in some classics. So
watch out for the refs. It might
You're
be a
gonna want to watch the refs.
Yep.
All right. Well, we went over, but I think it was worth it.
Oh yeah.
Week 15's in the books. Started. The books have begun on week 15.
This is the best part of football. December football heading into playoffs. We're in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
We finally know who's gonna make it or who's on the cusp. We know who sucks. Raiders.
Yeah, each game has like a percentage, or each game has a percentage of playoffs in it.
Yeah.
Some of them have a lot, so you want to watch those.
Yeah. So it'll be fun. Stay glued to your TV.
Stay glued, folks. My name's Miles.
I'm Kirk. Good night.